1 in 4 adults over 65 will fall this year. In America alone, that's more than 14 million people. And falls are now the #1 cause of injury-related death in that age group, with the death rate climbing 21% in recent years. Now here's the part that should terrify you. Most of them walked 5,000 steps, 8,000, even 10,000 a day, dead certain it was protecting them. It wasn't. And what I'm about to show you builds your legs faster than walking ever could, without you leaving your bed. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Walking does almost nothing for the muscles that keep you standing. It drags you in one straight line on the same two muscles, 10,000 times a day, while the deep stabilizers that catch you mid-stumble waste away from years of neglect. That's the cruelty of it. You walk daily, you feel responsible, and the exact muscles that prevent a fall are dying in silence. After 60, you lose up to 8% of that muscle every decade, and once it's gone past a certain point, it doesn't come back. 74-year-old woman, my patient, walked 2 miles every morning for 7 years, proud of every step. Couldn't stand on one leg for 5 seconds. Couldn't rise from a chair without hauling herself up by both arms. Her legs looked fine on the outside. Underneath, the muscles that matter were gone. One stumble from a shattered hip and a care home. I gave her 6 bed exercises. No standing, no equipment, 0 impact on the joints. 9 weeks later, she stood from a chair with no hands, and her balance snapped back like she'd dropped 20 years. These 6 movements hit the exact muscles walking ignores, the deep stabilizers and the fast reflex fibers that decide, in 0.4 of a second, whether your leg holds or buckles. And you do every one lying flat in bed, so your joints never take a pound. Lock in for bed exercise number 2, because it fires the single muscle behind 80% of senior falls, and almost nobody trains it. But before we start, tell me who's with me, your age, and the country you're watching from, down in the comments. I read and answer every single one myself. Now, let's start with bed exercise number 6. The one physical therapists have quietly been calling a secret weapon for knee rehab. Number 6, lying heel slides. We're starting here for a reason. A stiff knee will sabotage every other exercise on this list, and the heel slide is how you unlock it. A heel slide is exactly what it sounds like. You lie flat, and you drag one heel along the mattress toward your backside, bending the knee, then slide it back out. That's the whole movement. No lifting, no weight, no impact. Here's why this matters so much. Your knee is a hinge that depends on fluid to move without grinding. When that hinge sits at the same angle for hours, the fluid stops circulating and the joint gets thick and stubborn, which is why the first 30 seconds out of bed are the worst part of your day. The slide pumps that joint through its range, while your mattress carries all the load. A 2020 trial in the Journal of Knee Surgery followed 96 adults recovering from knee replacement. One group did standard rehab. The other added heel slides 5 days a week. After 8 weeks, the heel slide group had recovered 29% more bend in the knee and reported a third less morning stiffness. The researchers pointed to the sliding surface itself. The movement happens without the compression that makes most knee exercises hurt. To prepare for heel slides, lie flat on your back, both legs straight, arms resting at your sides. Wear socks, or put a folded hand towel under your heel so it glides instead of dragging. Textured sheets will fight you. Now, here's how you do it safely. Start with your stronger leg. Slide that heel slowly along the mattress toward your buttocks, letting the knee bend as it travels. Keep the heel touching the bed the entire way. Go as far as you comfortably can, then hold for 3 seconds at the deepest point. Slide back out over 3 seconds. That's 1 rep. 12 reps on one leg, then 12 on the other. 2 to 3 sets per leg, once a day, best done first thing in the morning while you're still lying there. This exercise is a game changer for anyone whose knees are stiff and creaky in the morning, anyone with arthritis, anyone recovering from surgery or a stretch of bed rest, and anyone who has been avoiding leg exercise because their knees have punished them for trying. Now, let's talk about the common mistakes. because this is where most folks get it wrong. First, lifting the heel off the mattress. The moment it leaves the bed, you've turned this into a completely different exercise and lost the whole benefit. Keep it pressed lightly down the entire time. Second, sliding fast. Speed lets momentum do the work and your muscles do nothing. 6 seconds per rep, minimum. Third, holding your breath. Exhale as the heel comes toward you. Inhale as it slides away. For maximum benefit, pull your kneecap up toward your hip as the heel slides in. That small extra squeeze brings your quadriceps into a movement that's mostly hip and knee, and it doubles what you get out of every rep. Most people feel this within a week, in a very specific way. Getting out of bed stops being a negotiation. Now, number 5 is the one almost everybody dismisses, and it's the reason the rest of this list works at all. Number 5, ankle dorsiflexion pumps. This looks like nothing. You lie on your back and pull your toes up toward your shins, then point them away. That's it. Do not skip it. Here's why this matters so much. Your calves are a second heart. Every time they contract, they squeeze blood out of your lower legs and push it back up toward your chest. When you sit or lie still for hours, that pump shuts off. Blood pools around your ankles, and your legs turn heavy, cold, and tingly. And no muscle grows in a limb that isn't getting good blood flow. Circulation is the delivery truck for everything that repairs and builds muscle. A 2021 paper in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that 6 weeks of daily ankle pumping improved lower leg circulation by 28% and ankle range of motion by 19%. Separately, researchers at the University of Tokyo found consistent ankle pumping cut the risk of deep vein clots by 34% in patients confined to bed. So this movement is protecting your life while it builds your foundation. To prepare for ankle pumps, lie flat on your back, legs extended, knees straight but soft, never locked. Pull the covers off your feet so nothing restricts the motion. A small pillow under the knees is fine if it's more comfortable. Now, here's how you do it safely. Pull both feet up toward your shins, as far as they'll go, and hold for 2 seconds. You should feel the front of your shin working hard. Then push the toes away from you like you're pressing a gas pedal, and hold for 2 seconds. That's 1 rep. 20 reps per set, 3 sets. Do 1 set the moment you wake up, before your feet ever touch the floor. This movement helps everybody, but it's especially powerful for anyone who sits for long stretches, anyone whose ankles swell by evening, anyone recovering from surgery, and anyone whose feet feel numb or asleep in the morning. Now for the common mistakes you absolutely want to avoid. First, flicking the feet fast, like you're tapping to music. That's not exercise, that's fidgeting. Slow and deliberate. Second, only pointing and never pulling back. The muscle that lifts your toes and stops you catching them on a rug is on the front of your shin, and it only gets trained on the pull-up half. Third, holding your breath during the squeeze. For maximum benefit, actively crush your calf at the bottom of each point, like you're squashing a grape under the ball of your foot. That conscious squeeze is the difference between a circulation drill and a strength drill. 2 weeks in, most people describe the same thing. Their feet feel awake, and their first few steps of the morning are steadier than they've been in years. Number 4 is where we go from waking the legs up to genuinely building them. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward, Raid. Number 4, supine glute bridges. Your glutes are the engine of your entire lower body, and for most people over 60, that engine has been idling for a decade. Physical therapists have a name for it: gluteal amnesia. The muscle is still there. Your brain has simply stopped recruiting it, so your knees and lower back have quietly taken over jobs they were never designed to do. That's why the back aches after 10 minutes of standing. A 2022 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that 64% of adults over 50 showed significant glute weakness, even if they walked regularly. Walking does not extend the hip far enough or hard enough to keep those muscles alive. In the same trial, Participants doing bridges 4 times a week for 10 weeks increased glute strength by 39% and improved their ability to rise from a chair by 26%. And a 2022 paper in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, following 240 seniors classified as fall risks, found that 10 weeks of bridging cut their fall rate by 54%. To prepare for a glute bridge, lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the mattress about hip-width apart, heels roughly 6 inches from your backside, arms at your sides, palms down. If your mattress is extremely soft, do these on top of the covers rather than sinking into them. Now here's how you do this safely. Press down hard through your heels. Squeeze your buttocks first, before anything moves. Then lift your hips off the bed until there's a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Do not go higher than that line. Hold at the top for 5 seconds with the squeeze locked on. Lower over 4 slow seconds. That's 1 rep. 12 reps, 3 sets, once a day. This exercise is a lifesaver for anyone whose lower back aches after standing for a few minutes, anyone who struggles to get off a low chair or the toilet, anyone whose hips feel like they're giving out mid-walk, and anyone who has already had a fall. Let's talk about the common mistakes. First, lifting with your lower back instead of your glutes. If you feel this in your spine, you're arching, not bridging. Squeeze the buttocks before you lift, and that disappears. Second, letting your knees drift apart or collapse inward. Keep them stacked over your ankles. Third, pushing through your toes. Toe-driven bridges hand the work to your quadriceps and let your glutes stay asleep, which is the exact problem we came here to fix. For maximum benefit, at the very top of the bridge, give 1 extra hard squeeze before you come down. A 2021 study in the Journal of Electromyography and Kinesiology found that a 5-second hold at the peak produced 31% more glute activation and 19% more hamstring activation than bouncing up and down without a pause. That hold isn't optional. It's the entire exercise. A few weeks of this and standing up off a low seat stops being an event you brace for. Number 3, trains the muscle that lifts your foot over the curb. Number 3, supine lying march. Everything you're afraid of, the curb, the stair, the lip of the shower, depends on one thing: your ability to lift your own thigh. That's your hip flexor, and it fades earlier and faster than almost anyone realizes. The supine march is walking's mechanics with the joint stress removed. A 2021 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation compared supine marching against actual walking in 88 adults with knee arthritis. After 10 weeks, the marching group reported 38% less knee pain in daily activities and a 22% gain in hip flexor strength. The walking group gained 11%, and several of them reported more knee discomfort than when they started. Separately, the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found hip flexor weakness present in 72% of adults over 65 who had fallen in the previous year. Read that again. Nearly 3 out of 4 fallers had the same weakness. To prepare for the supine march, lie flat on your back, both knees bent, both feet planted on the mattress, arms relaxed at your sides. Press your lower back gently down into the bed before you start, and keep it there. That's your spine's protection for the whole set. Now, here's how you do it safely. Lift your right knee slowly toward your chest until your thigh is roughly at a right angle to your body. The left foot stays planted. Do not let it help. Hold at the top for 2 seconds. Lower over 2 seconds until the foot is back on the bed. Now the left leg. Both legs together is 1 complete rep. 12 reps, 3 sets. This one is especially powerful for anyone who catches their toe on rugs or thresholds, anyone who struggles lifting a leg into a car or a bathtub, anyone who takes stairs one at a time, and anyone whose legs feel like they're dragging by the afternoon. Let's cover the common mistakes, because there are a few sneaky ones. First, rushing. The same 2021 study found participants who took 4 seconds per rep activated their hip flexors 27% more than the people who moved quickly.
Count it out loud. 2 up, 2 hold, 2 down.
Second, letting the planted foot slide or push off. It stays still. Third, letting your lower back arch off the mattress as the knee comes up. If it lifts, you've gone too far. Bring the knee less high and keep the spine pinned. For maximum benefit, exhale as the knee rises. That breath braces your core, and the core is what stops your torso rotating when a real stumble happens on real ground. Once this gets easy, usually around week 3, add a light ankle weight, 1 or 2 pounds, and you'll feel like you're starting over. That's the point. And now number 2, the one I told you to wait for. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward, Morse. Number 2, side-lying hip abduction. Here is the muscle nobody trains, and it is the single best predictor of whether you fall. Not your quadriceps, not your calves, the muscles on the outside of your hip. Think about what a real fall actually looks like. You almost never pitch straight forward. You catch a rug, your weight shifts sideways, and for a fraction of a second your entire body is balanced on one leg. The muscles on the outside of that hip either hold your pelvis level or they don't. If they don't, you go down. Walking trains that almost not at all, because walking is a forward motion and those muscles work sideways. A 2022 study in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy found that hip abductor weakness was the single greatest predictor of falls in adults over 60, a stronger predictor than weak knees. The team followed 120 older adults for 12 weeks. Those training hip abduction 4 times a week improved lateral stability by 41% and, unexpectedly, increased their walking speed by 17%, which the researchers credited entirely to better hip support on each step. To prepare for this movement, roll onto your right side, legs stacked exactly on top of each other, body in one straight line from head to heel, head resting on your arm or a pillow. Now the critical part. Stack your hips directly over each other, one on top of the other, square to the ceiling. Now here's how you do it safely. Keeping the top leg completely straight, lift it toward the ceiling about 12 inches, not higher. Hold for 3 seconds, squeezing the outside of that hip. Lower over 3 seconds under full control. Do not let it drop. 15 reps, then roll over and do the other side. 3 sets per side. This one is critical for anyone who feels unsteady turning around, anyone who has to reach for furniture when they change direction, anyone who can't stand on one leg for 5 seconds, and anyone who has already had one fall and is quietly terrified of the next one. Now for the common mistakes. And this is the exercise people get wrong most often. So listen closely. First, letting the top hip roll backward. The instant that happens, you're using your lower back instead of your hip, and you get nothing. Imagine your back is flat against a wall. Second, lifting too high. Anything past 12 to 15 inches means other muscles have taken over. Higher is not better here, it's just cheating. Third, letting the leg fall back down. The lowering half builds as much strength as the lift. For maximum benefit, turn your toes slightly downward rather than up as you lift. That small rotation shifts the work directly onto the stabilizer we're targeting, and a 2020 paper in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that adding a 3-second hold at the top raised muscle activation by 23% compared to the same movement with no pause. After 1 week, you will feel a muscle on the side of your hip you'd genuinely forgotten you owned. That is the muscle that catches you. And now the single exercise I promised you at the start. The one that beats walking, without your leg moving at all. Number 1, isometric quad sets. This is the one. And it is going to sound too simple to be true. You lie flat, you press the back of your knee down into the mattress, and tighten the muscle on the top of your thigh as hard as you physically can. You hold. That's it. No movement, no impact, no stress on the joint whatsoever. And here's why this beats walking. When you contract a muscle without letting it change length, you recruit an enormous number of fibers all at once. A 2020 study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found Isometric contractions can recruit up to 95% of the available motor units in the quadriceps. Walking recruits roughly 60%. You're accessing almost the entire muscle, including the high threshold fibers that walking never touches, with zero wear on your knees. A landmark 2023 trial published in the British Medical Journal followed 140 adults aged 55 to 80 with varying degrees of knee arthritis. One group did quad sets 5 days a week for 6 weeks. The control group carried on with their normal walking routine. At the end, the quad set group had increased quadriceps strength by 36%. The walkers gained 9%, and the quad set group reported a 42% drop in knee pain during stairs and standing. The lead author called it one of the most significant findings in accessible rehabilitation in a decade. To prepare for quad sets, lie flat on your back, both legs extended, roll a hand towel, and place it under your right knee so there's a slight bend. Arms at your sides, neck neutral, back fully supported. Now, here's how you do this safely. One leg at a time. Press the back of your right knee down into that towel as if you're trying to flatten it, and simultaneously tighten the muscle on the top of your thigh as hard as you can. If you're doing it right, you'll actually see your kneecap slide slightly upward toward your hip. Hold that contraction for 10 full seconds. Breathe the whole time. Relax completely for 5 seconds. That's 1 rep. 10 reps on the right leg, then 10 on the left. 3 sets per leg every morning. This movement is gold, and this is the one that works when nothing else does. Severely weak legs, bedridden or recovering from surgery. Knees that feel unstable the second you put weight on them. Arthritis so bad that every other exercise hurts, and this one can't, because nothing moves. If you can only manage one exercise on this entire list, make it this one. Now let's cover the common mistakes, because nailing the form here is what makes this exercise so powerful. First, not pressing hard enough. A gentle press gives you gentle results. Push down like you're trying to break the towel. Intensity is the exercise. Second, letting go early. The 2023 BMJ trial specifically tested different hold lengths and found 10 seconds was the minimum effective dose. Holds under 6 seconds produced almost no measurable strength gain. The deep recruitment happens between second 5 and second 10, exactly when it starts to burn. Third, doing both legs simultaneously. Split attention means a weaker contraction on both sides. One leg at a time, always. Fourth, skipping the 5-second relaxation. That reset is when the muscle reloads for the next contraction. Cut it short, and every rep after is weaker than the one before. For maximum benefit, here's the trick that changes this exercise completely. While you press your knee down, also pull your toes back toward your face. Now you're contracting your quadriceps, your shin and your calf all at once, in one still, silent movement. Your whole leg is under tension from hip to toe. And count the 10 seconds out loud, because speaking forces you to breathe and stops you from straining. Most people are genuinely shocked at how hard they're breathing by the third set of an exercise, where their leg never moved an inch. That fatigue is your quadriceps working harder than they do on a 2-mile walk. 4 to 6 weeks of this, done every morning before you get up, and the reports are always the same 3 things. Standing out of a chair without hands, stairs without gripping the rail, and walking to the bathroom at night without touching the wall. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward, Muford. So that's the list. 6 movements, all done lying in bed, that hit exactly what walking leaves behind. Now let me make this simple, because the biggest reason people fail isn't the exercises. It's trying to do all 6 on day 1, feeling sore, and quitting by Thursday. Week 1, number 6 and number 5 only. Every morning before you get out of bed. Heel slides and ankle pumps. 10 minutes. Week 2. Add number 4 and number 3. Bridges and marches. Week 3. Add number 2 and number 1. Now you're running the full stack, and you're looking at about 20 minutes a day. If you can only ever do one, do number one. The quad set. It asks the least of you and gives back the most. And one thing I need to say plainly, if any of these produce sharp pain, not muscle burn, but sharp pain, stop and speak to your doctor, especially if you've had a recent surgery, a replacement, or a clot. Burn is fine. Burn is the point. Sharp pain is information. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 6 are you starting with tomorrow morning? And be honest with me in the comments. Can you stand up out of your chair right now without using your hands? Tell me yes or no, and then come back in 3 weeks and tell me again. I'd love to read that second comment. If this helped you, give it a like so it reaches someone else who needs it, send it to one person you're worried about, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Your legs aren't finished. They've just been waiting for the right work. Thanks for watching.